So you've arrived in Malta, and following a quick glimpse at the map, you're immediately overwhelmed with choices. Red pins all over the map like chicken pox. You might think to yourself, I thought this place was tiny. How am I ever going to narrow this down? What is going on, everyone? I'm Baker Wild, and today we're taking a deep dive into the most popular places to see and things to do in Malta. Like with lemmings, just because something is popular doesn't mean you'll enjoy it. But rest assured, I'll tell you everything I know so that making a decision is a lot easier. We've got a lot to get through, so let's get straight to business with the most popular thing to do in Malta, which is to visit the Grand Master's Palace in Valletta. Although I don't find museums the most fun thing to do on a trip, they are hard to beat when you're hit with a rainy day like I was. So head over to Valletta, take a walk through the former palace, through one of the largest armories in the world, gaze up at illusionistic frescoes in the piano nobile corridors, and then explore the stately rooms as you imagine you're sat atop a grand throne, swigging some fine cognac while addressing a room of foreign dignitaries. It's not your typical museum, but there's a lot you can learn about Malta's extensive history and origin story if you fancy a read. Entry is €12. Now while you're in Valletta, why not scale the steep city walls and marvel at the view from the upper Barakka gardens. Now from what I know, it's got nothing to do with Barack Obama, but some incredibly famous people have once stood here and probably smoked a cigar or two while looking out at the historic three cities. Franklin D. Roosevelt, anyone? Even Churchill and your boy Stalin were here at one point. Overall, it's a good place to chill and watch the sunset, and it's got kitties everywhere, so what's not to like? I mean, who doesn't like kitties? If the hustle and bustle of Malta's main island isn't your jam, then I'd highly recommend our next choice, riding a 100-year-old bus. Vintage bus tours are offered throughout Malta, with one of the most popular routes taking place only on Sundays to the idyllic fishing village of Masterschlag. The journey's really affordable at just €5 for a return. It's a cool way to enjoy the sights as you cruise to the coast to visit the slightly famous fish market. Unfortunately, when I got there at 10:30, it felt like I missed the party a bit, as there wasn't any delicious seafood in sight, and instead, stalls of bric-a-brac and outdated household items dominated the crowded market. Not what I expected, but I probably should have taken to the water on one of the brightly painted boats like these folk. Overall, it was crowded and the seafood on offer in restaurants wasn't so affordable, but it was worth the ride just for the experience of the old bus going through the city and Mary and Jesus up front keeping us all safe. Now, if public transport isn't your preference, you can unlock another side of Malta by renting a car. Now, to see obscure and beautiful parts of the islands, this isn't accessible for all, but if you hold a driver's license or you're travelling with someone who does, I highly recommend it. Malta has countless unbelievable roads, and having your own car allows you to enjoy more of this beautiful country. You can hire a car from around €40 a day. A lot of people recommend that you rent the smallest car possible because you can't really drive fast there anyway, and some of the streets are deadly narrow. I would recommend Drifter, they were brilliant. Now, with or without a car, something you shouldn't miss out on is taking a ferry to Malta's sister island, Gozo. Here the feel of the land is less touristic and more authentic. Once you learn how lovely the people are and how unspoilt the landscape is, it puzzles me to think that a lot of people forget to visit Gozo at all. What's cool about the ferry is you can hop aboard as a foot passenger for €4.65 or with a car for €15.70 currently. I know that in a vehicle you can't pay until the return journey, so don't panic like we did thinking you've driven off without paying. Now, something else which was a cheap bit of fun in Gozo was taking a boat ride through the inland sea cave. Head over to the western side of Gozo and you'll find a curious beach that lay surrounded by rocks, as if a bomb had landed and created a secret bay with ultra clear water. The beach is fed by seawater that passes through the narrow caves pierced through the rock face. The inland sea is popular for swimming and diving, but with parts of the cave water up to 60 meters deep, I went with the tamer option and took a boat ride through the cave and explored around the other side. The cruise lasts for about 15 to 20 minutes, and you will need cash to pay the €5 per person. What's more, the area around the sea cave is actually pretty interesting. If you climb past the chapel and past some steep falls, you'll reach a jaw-dropping view of the coast. There's even some ancient cart tracks there, maybe when they used to have some go-karting, a long time ago, and you'll be able to see views all the way across the fungus rock in the distance. Now, if you have some time in Gozo, a must-see activity is to explore the ancient streets of Victoria, Gozo's capital. It's one of my favourite urban areas to explore, from the narrowest street in Malta to the towering steps that lead up to the ruined citadel. The citadel was built in the Middle Ages and functioned as a miniature fortified city to protect the inhabitants. although tales are told of residents who risked it all, casting ropes or sheets over the edge of the vertical walls to escape the terrors that happen with it. Now the stairs are totally worth it to wander the eerie paths and chambers of the Lost City, but the Citadel did suffer quite a brutal past, so today it's not looking at its best, but the views are sublime. Another thing you can do while you're in Malta is explore the real 1980s Popeye film set. I know I'm all grown up by now, but age is just a number. As a kid, I was a huge Robin Williams fan, and even though Popeye was far from his best movie, I still find it so cool that you can visit the original film set and stand where he once stood. Surprised was I to discover it's not just an abandoned film set you can explore, but there are actually actors working there who bring the whole place to life, just like stepping into the movie. There's a lot to explore there. You can stop to watch a show, drop off the kids, and then go and eat and drink with an amazing view of the bay, even play the burger game with Mr. Wimpy. I mean, what, you think you can beat him? Let's see you try. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's about all we've got time for today. Hope I've given you some ideas for places to go and things to see. Now get out there and do it. Look after yourself now. We'll see you all later. Peace.